Before the plague in Lothspire Prefecture could be contained, Leon Carte was forced to see another kind of rot. Lord Prefect declared that any blame for inviting outsiders would fall on him. General Roderick Stormbrand questioned whether Leon and Clara Shaw were truly here to help. The officials followed at once. They called outsiders untrustworthy and demanded Leon, Clara, and their troops be seized. Lord Prefect silenced them, but Roderick pressed harder. Leon used skeletons. Anyone who turned bones into soldiers, he said, desecrated the dead and could not be trusted. The hall erupted. Leon and Clara stood to leave. Lord Prefect stopped them and demanded a cure from the officials instead. No one answered. Leon then named his price. Since they did not want help from a Sanctum player, he would make it a transaction. He would process the Blightspawn aberration corpses for a fee. Once the work ended, neither side would owe the other anything. The officials accepted. After bargaining, the rate was set at 1 unit of basic resources for every 100 corpses. That night, Leon and Clara were taken outside the city. Mountains of Blightspawn aberration corpses were rotting there. Leon endured the stench and directed the shadow locusts to feed. By dawn, 1/5 of the corpse piles had vanished. Lord Prefect immediately sent over 2 million units of basic resources. While the shadow locusts kept eating, Leon also found animal corpses, raised them as skeleton soldiers, and used sovereign assimilation to fuse them into grave-bound hero overlords. General Roderick Stormbrand still wanted revenge, so he stationed watchers on Leon and Clara. Meanwhile, the two of them continued studying ninefold warform. Leon became a provision Trent. Clara became a bulwark Trent. After 3 days, Leon awakened Iron Husk Bloom, and could grow Iron Husk nuts to throw, or turn to stronger fireballs with cinder oil. Clara awakened Amber Sap Hide, once understood the skills synchronized to their Trent troops. Afterward, Clara asked Leon to accompany her to the Glaw Market. Leon bought her trinkets, and together they picked out valuable materials. Leon even bought a jar of Drakespine bone dust dye for only 300,000 gold coin. While they shopped, someone behind them wrote a message, tied it to a pigeon, and sent it to Stormfire Manor. General Roderick Stormbrand read the note and ordered a subordinate to let Lord Prefect's foolish son go out for a walk. Soon Tyrone Thorn appeared in a grand sedan chair, openly picking women from the crowd, and ordering a begging girl taken back to warm his bed. Then he saw Clara, and stopped in front of her. He climbed down, asked her name, and blocked her way when she tried to leave. His guards surrounded her, while he boasted that he was Lord Prefect's only son. Nearby citizens whispered that Tiger Thorn had already ruined many girls. Clara heard enough and told him to get out of her way. One guard stepped forward to strike her. Tyrone stopped him, then threatened her himself. Leon stepped in. Tyrone cursed him. Leon blocked the hand. Tyrone reached toward Clara. 2 guards released martial manifestation power and summoned 20 spear-wielding troops. The spears thrust at Leon. Leon swung one hand. Every spear shattered. The 20 summoned troops shattered too. Tyrone offered Leon a place as his personal guard in exchange for Clara. Leon answered by ramming his shoulder into him and sending him flying more than 10 meters. The guards panicked and summoned 300 troops to surround Leon and Clara. Tyrone climbed up with help, relying on the silken Aegis vest Lord Prefect had given him, then shouted for Leon to be hacked to pieces and fed to dogs. Leon ignored him and used ninefold warform to become Frostriver Ironsteed. Freezing air spread out. Weak summoned troops froze into statues where they stood. Tyrone recognized the form and started trembling. Leon pulled Clara onto the mount, charged straight at him, and stamped him into the ground with an iron hoof, leaving a deep pit. Then Leon rode away, without even checking whether Tyrone was alive. Tyrone survived with light injuries because of the vest. He was dragged out of the pit and swore revenge. Back outside the city, Leon looked over the blackened field. The piles of corpses were nearly gone. 800 house-sized shadow locusts stood across the land. They had devoured so much that their life force had reached Lord level, though their combat strength was still poor. Leon removed the black corruption crystal from each one and used life's sacrifice. 3 options appeared: Eternal Ripper Altar, Warfang Tally, and War Soldier Night Veil. Leon discarded the altar at once and chose the Warfang Tally. The stored morale inside it could redeem 5 million Shadow Locusts, or only 2 Leviathan Tide Riders. Leon placed the Warfang Tally into the Haven Shelter warehouse, contacted Marcus, and soon received 5 million Shadow Locusts through trade. He released them all at once and turned the field black. Before long, a war captain arrived with more Blightspawn aberration corpses and a sealed banquet writ from General Roderick Stormbrand. He was inviting Leon and Clara to a banquet. Leon knew the invitation was strange, but curiosity won. That night, the 2 of them attended. Leon and Clara sat together, ate honey glass sugar orbs, and noticed that everyone was watching them with strange eyes. Leon quietly told Clara to stay alert. When Roderick entered, Leon answered his toast with tea instead of wine. Roderick signaled his vice-general, who raised a cup toward Leon and Clara. Leon took only a shallow sip of tea. The officials around him grew angry. The vice-general demanded to know whether Leon was insulting him. Leon said that if the man disliked tea, he should stop offering toasts. When the vice-general pressed harder, Leon answered that even if he drank wine, he would still look down on him. The vice-general drew his blade. Roderick then accused Leon of humiliating his soldiers. Leon replied that he had assumed Roderick already knew. Leon did not put him in his eyes. Roderick challenged Leon to a public duel. Leon agreed. Roderick demanded one condition: Leon could not use the Black Executioner blade from before. Leon accepted. The guests cleared a space. At the drumbeat, Roderick used Ninefold Warform and became a Saffron Stormlancer. Holding the Saffron Storm Spear, Leon responded by becoming a Halfling Drakespear. Yellow lightning and blue-white lightning collided as the 2 exchanged spear strikes. On weapon strength, they were even, but Roderick had more battle experience. Under that pressure, Leon's spear was finally knocked away. Roderick gathered Yellow Thunder on the Saffron Storm Spear and drove in for the killing blow. Leon smiled. After learning Primal Reversion right, the Halfdrake kin no longer relied only on spear skill. Just as Roderick thought victory was in hand, Leon's body expanded tenfold and transformed into a true dragon. Leon had become a lightning true dragon. He opened his jaws and blasted Roderick with dragon breath. General Roderick Stormbrand flew dozens of meters, turned black from the strike, and crashed to the ground without moving. The banquet froze. The same people who had expected Leon to be crushed now looked at him with awe. Clara looked on with open admiration. Leon returned to human form, took Clara, and walked straight out. Elsewhere, Tyron finally learned Leon and Clara were the town's Lord Prefect had invited to handle the plague. He chose to hold back. That decision saved his life. At the same time, Lord Prefect received 2 reports. The first detailed Tyron's behavior in the street and enraged him. He ordered Tyron's residence sealed. Then he read the second report and learned that Leon had become a lightning true dragon and badly injured Roderick. Realizing Leon had shown mercy to Tyron earlier, he increased the punishment at once. That night, screams echoed through Prefect's keep. The next morning, Lord Prefect summoned Leon. Clara warned Leon to be ready to leave if they tried to punish him over Roderick. Leon judged that if punishment were the goal, they would have acted the night before. He still promised to stay cautious and went alone. In Prefect's keep, many officials were already waiting. Lord Prefect announced that Roderick had sent a leave request, claiming he had been drunk and accidentally injured. Then, he said the Blightspawn aberrations would not stop attacking just because the Stormfire General was absent. He looked straight at Leon. He wanted Leon to take over the most dangerous section of the defense line. Leon barely started to speak before Lord Prefect rushed over, grabbed his hands, and declared that he could do it. So Leon went. He moved the Skeleton Legion to the most dangerous region, the very place Roderick had always guarded. In battle, The skeleton knights raised fresh skeleton soldiers from the corpses of fallen Blightspawn aberrations. Leon's forces started at 10,000, then became 20,000, then 30,000, then 50,000. After only 3 days, the Skeleton Legion had passed 100,000 troops. The pressure on the other districts dropped at once. Only then did the officials understand how powerful Leon's skeleton army really was. Some even hoped to obtain the troop type for their descendants. Leon had no intention of giving it to them. In his eyes, they were not worthy. With the plague source removed, and battlefield reports improving, Lothspire Prefecture stabilized faster than any of the 19 prefectures of the Ashen Crown dynasty. The Ashen Crown sovereign issued rewards to Lord Prefect. Lord Prefect handed them all to Leon. Among them was a sovereign relic blade, effectively a level 4 divine weapon by Sanctum civilization standards. When Leon wore it, the strength of his short weapon troops increased by 10%. Leon accepted everything and stored the rest for Clara and Marcus. Then Lord Prefect asked one more favor. The surrounding prefectures were also suffering from the plague. If Leon would help them, those prefects would all be grateful. Leon agreed so long as the price was right. Lord Prefect immediately contacted the other prefectures. Not long after Leon left large numbers of shadow locusts across the Ashen Crown dynasty to consume the corpse piles there as well, while his Skeleton Legion launched repeated campaigns against concentrated groups of Blightspawn aberrations. After many large battles, Leon's skeleton army passed 1 million troops. If he wished, he now had enough power to seize any city in the Ashen Crown dynasty outside the Crown Spire imperial capital with ease.